What's up guys, welcome to the 11th lesson of the essential tools in Photoshop. In this lesson we're going to talk about the clone stamp tool. We're going to be able to see how this tool gives us the opportunity to copy or sample some specific areas or elements from one side of the image to another, and what type of setting we need to use in order to achieve a great result. So let's jump in Photoshop. In this way we can see what I'm talking about. Now, about the clone stamp tool, is probably one of the most known tool in Photoshop. It gives us the opportunity to clone areas, to stamp them in another area of the image, or even in another image itself. So, it's very similar to the brush when we see the options on the top. Very easy in this case to use for us and to understand how to use this tool. Use current and below, or layers, current layers, where we want to sample. You can paint obviously on the background layer, but always good to paint on a new layer. In this way you can work in a not destructive way. Let's say that now we're working on a layer number 1. Now it's empty. So we need to make sure that we've got current and below or all layers selected. Because if we are working with the current layer, nothing will happen, because the layer that we're working on now is empty. So there is nothing that we can clone or sample from. So in the moment that we click Alt, we're going to be able to see this little viewfinder that is going to tell us what is the area that now we are cloning from. And if I try to do something right now, nothing's happening, because like I say to you, we're working on a current layer that is empty. So we need to work on current, below, or all layers. So this way we're going to be able to, let's say I want to sample the eye, we can already see a little preview of what we are actually cloning. And it gives me the opportunity again to apply this little option. You can change your brush if you want a harsh edge of it, because in case you don't want softness. You can click different options in there. What is quite interesting as element when we use the clone stamp tool with all these preferences that we have up here is the alignment. How does it work? If you basically click on the shoulder, so I'm sampling and I'm cloning, you can see they works parallel to the brush, so it follows it. You're always gonna have the same distance. So that's the quite interesting part when you have the alignment ticked. Instead, if you don't tick the alignment, what it does, it stays on the same point or where you're sampling. So it doesn't fall off the brush. So if I sampling the eye, it always stays on the same sample area. So this is gonna help you in case you want to multiply, for example, an element that you're trying to clone from. Instead, if you still need the sample, so the viewfinder follow the brush, then you need to click the alignment. This is the general overview of this great tool. It's also fantastic not to just copy elements and to multiply them, but it's also very interesting to remove elements. So I do use it, for example, sometimes to remove elements, for example, from the skin in the moment that the healing brush is not working, let's say. So it's quite good as well to remove imperfections, because what it does, we are copying right now texture and color at the same time. And always good to keep everything on a new layer. In this way you don't work in that destructive way, you can always come back into it. So this is all about the clone stamp tool. Fantastic tool to copy elements from the same image and to apply it on the image somewhere else. You can use this tool as well to remove imperfections. You got different preferences that you can change. You got the alignment, which can help you the way how you work with this tool. So this is all about the clone stamp tool, guys. Please make sure that you try it out and have lots of fun.